What's going on, man? What's the signal? What's the noise?
You tell me. I'm trying to figure this out. Nvidia is today's name. We haven't talked about Nvidia in a little while here, which obviously we've had a big shift in how Nvidia has been perceived. Just as a case in point, the PE ratio for Nvidia, forward PE ratio, has fallen back to a point where it was prior to the AI boom starting. So there's been a revaluation through this particular name, which isn't unsurprising right now, guys. Jamal, that Core 1M index still sitting at egregiously low levels, perhaps below 4%. Markets are moving independently. Stocks are moving independently of each other. They have their own stories. And so Nvidia has its own story here. Friday, we got to close around 211. Morgan Stanley retains it as a top pick with 288, which implies a 38% upside target. The target works out to about 14 times its fiscal 2029 EPS. So this is not, some pie in the sky valuation that's being painted here. This is seemingly very, very reasonable. Right now, Nvidia is trading at 18.7 times forward earnings, and as we know, by its own standards, even mega cap tech standards, heck, we can go to the Mag 7 standards, that is cheap. Mag 7 still has a PE ratio closer to 23 right now. So the options tape here is what we're interested in, of course. All that fundamental noise is leave that nonsense to CNN. Friday, you had 13.4 million in Nvidia puts at the close. All of them expire before the August 26th earnings report. And so we have to pay attention to little details like that, guys. I know you focus on this all the time. Is someone trying to ride momentum into the report? Are they looking for potential volatility crush? Are they looking for a repricing, a re-rating after an earnings report here? So this is not necessarily a clean fundamental short, of course, going to the print. It just seems like it's protection for the next few weeks. And that's not knowing anything else about their book. And for every buyer, there is a seller, Frankie, right? But the trades that were here, they clustered just below the spot price. You have a July 22nd 210 put taking in about 4.5 million in premium with 95% ask side volume. With a break even of 204.5, that puts it about 3.1% below that Friday close. And then you have the July 31st 205 puts pulling in about 4.2 million with 87% ask side volume and a break even around 199.5. You add in the July 22nd 200 puts for the 2.5 million and July 22nd 202.5s for the 2.2 million, and you have four downside trades now covering roughly 3 to 7% below spot. So, guys, 3 to 7% below spot is not hedging tail risk. That's not disaster protection insurance. That's basically saying that the market could have a short-term breakdown here and glide lower as we make our way through the summer months. We talk about the contracts traded here. I want to look at that 30,700 in volume against the 3,100 in open interest. So the open interest update that we're going to be seeing tomorrow, I think, is going to be key. If it's going to stay at these strikes, we know that there is going to be a jump around these positions. We're going to know that there's fresh bears positioning here. But if the open interest is barely moving, these trades are probably churns, rolls, hedges, some sort of positioning adjustment. So that's going to be the first thing that I think traders should watch as we're trying to figure out whether or not these are signals versus noise. The other one would be what's happening on the calendar this week. Tomorrow's the CPI report. We have ASML earnings on Wednesday, TSMC on July 16th here. This could be a very important window for the entire space. Imagine a worst case scenario, gentlemen. Inflation is rip-roaring and all these earnings disappoint. The banks are in trouble. It's going to have a total different perspective and flavor for the market by the end of the week. So I don't think this is a put buyer coming out here and telling us, I don't think the signal is per se, that someone's out here expecting Nvidia to collapse. But they're looking at the near-term run ahead of that earnings report and thinking that there's good reason to have some protection to the downside.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's exactly that. I think it's a near-term catalyst. I mean, this person seemed pretty focused on that July 22nd expiration. And you know what's interesting? I have positions on Nvidia. I have like long September, short August calendars that are like 220. I specifically did 220, 235, and 250, like $15 wide. I didn't even realize I was making money on them until the end of the week. So the big move on Friday, I was like, whoa, when did this happen? Because it's been a slow grind. And, Nvidia has been really kind of weak until the last couple of days. So I think you're right, Chris. I think somebody is saying, look, this stock is actually trying to do something here. But in the event that ASML or TSM has bad earnings or the CPI print doesn't hit right, this thing could get crushed. We've seen this happen after names are starting to move pretty strongly in big volume days, that something happens that is not even in their control that causes them to fall.
Yeah, I mean, I'm simple framework here. If open interest jumps and we see Nvidia start to drop below 200 in a meaningful way, I mean, that's going to be a bear signal for me.
And that's been the number, right? 200.
kind of feels like it's a line in the sand. But if we bob around here and we see all this trading volume go through, and it's like, okay, end of the week open interest is unchanged. All right, these are all people who are just rolling their positions, or, this is not fresh capital coming into the space making a big directional bet. But 3 to 7% downside from here. It was trading at 210 on Friday at the close, so $200. I mean, this is a reasonable set of circumstances if you think that there could be a pullback. It's a reasonable hedge, it feels like.
Yeah. And this looks like we're going to open down about 2 points, 3 points from last week's close. And we closed at highs last week. So interesting open, implied open here. And yeah, when we look at all of this time prior to the earnings announcement in late August for Nvidia, so much can happen. And that's what's really super interesting is Nvidia on the inverse side, the banks are the opening earnings announcement cluster, but Nvidia tends to be the last. It's like the final hurrah.
Closer.
Yeah. So
do we give that to Micron now?
I guess so.
Well, I guess.
Right?
Yeah.
Didn't Micron come out after Nvidia recently?
It did. Yeah, true.
Maybe they shifted it. They flexed the earnings report, kind of like how the Bears constantly get flexed because
They flexed
what's
it
up.
out, right?
Yeah.
But if you consider Micron the end of earnings season, that means you get like a 2 or 3 week break before the start of the next one.